Hi everyone, so today we're looking at Prasarita Padottanasana and looking at all 4 variations and maybe some tweaks that we can do in pregnancy to make the posture more comfortable, and looking at the vinyasa as well. So it's a great posture to do in your pregnancy, especially later on, because forward leaning inversions are fantastic in the 3rd trimester, really good birth preparation and also great in labour as well. It's going to really stretch out the back of the legs. If you've been having any kind of like sciatica or any pain in the hips, it's good to stretch through the back of the legs. Also, any back pain or pulling on the back, it's nice as you're upside down, you're in an inversion, but you're not having to put any weight into your upper body. So it's not like a headstand or a handstand where you're having to engage. You can just kind of let go and just allow gravity and time to really work for you here. So, from Samasthini here, we step out to the right hand side, and you're going to take your hands onto your hips on an inhale. Now, depending on how big the bump is and how far along in your pregnancy you are, we've spoke about this during the forward fold postures. You might have to take a bend in your knees in order to get your bump through your legs to be able to bring your hands to the floor. So you might hit compression if you just try and lean forward and place the hands down. So to give yourself more room, you can turn the toes and the knees out, create more space for the belly, bring the hands down to the mat, then turn the heels out, toes in, and take an inhale and lift the chest. Now, even just to stay here without folding forward is fantastic. It feels so good for the back. All of the extra bump weight and the kind of front body weight here, a really nice stretch out for the front of the body. So taking an inhale, and as you exhale, walking your hands through. Now, you might not be able to go as deep as you normally would because the belly is going to be in the way, and you don't want to be putting any pressure on the top of the head. So if your head is coming down to the floor like this, maybe take your feet a bit closer together so your head can hang a bit more freely. If you're struggling to bring your hands down to the floor, you could grab 2 blocks and place the hands on the blocks, or have your hands further in front of you, almost like a wide-legged downward dog. And you can stay here, just relax the head and shoulders completely, and you could even work a little bit forward and backwards movement. In the later stages of pregnancy, when you're looking at birth prep, any movement where you're kind of here, leaning forwards and backwards, this forward leaning inversion is really good, this swaying motion. And you can definitely use that to your advantage in Prasarita Padottanasana. However, when we move through the different postures, so we're coming into different arm positions for this, the vinyasa is to inhale, come up, fully exhale, and then inhale, hand to the hips, we lift up, then we take the arms out, and then we change and go up and down. And if we're constantly moving up and down the mat, it can cause a little bit of lightheadedness or a bit of dizziness. If you've got any blood pressure problems, or if it's just too much, it can be really fatiguing on you, on your breath, to be moving up and down one breath with the vinyasa. So instead of at the end of your 5 breaths in the posture, so for A, at the end here, you could inhale, come up, and you could just take a few moments here, and then you could swap your hand position to B, do your 5 breaths, come up, take a breath, swap your hand position to C, take 5 breaths, and then again, hands come down, take a moment here, and then take the toes. You don't have to lift yourself up after every vinyasa and take the arms out and change the position if you don't want to. So things to remember for that posture is when you're coming into your forward fold, knees out can be really beneficial in order to get your hands down to the floor to clear the space for the bump. Another thing that's beneficial is to lean forward slightly if you are struggling to bring your hands down. Walk your hands further forward, relax the head and shoulders, and you can just be here. The third thing is to look at the vinyasa count, whether you want to be lifting up and opening out, or whether you want to stay low, take a few breaths and just switch the arm position as you go. As you kind of progress in your pregnancy, as you can tell, I'm pretty out of breath right now. What used to be so easy, like just lifting up out of that posture, can feel like really hard work. So if you need to stay down and be a bit more grounded, that's totally fine too. Another thing that I'll say for these postures are, if you decide that it's too much for your stomach or you feel like you're being pressed in, don't take your legs wider. So say if you're here and you're feeling like you can't get a deep forward fold, don't be tempted to start to do this, because you're going into a bit more of unstable territory. You could easily slip and come into the splits, and the posture, we lose the integrity of the posture if we start to really move away from it. You're better off remaining higher up or further forward in the posture instead. Don't forget, you can also do the posture seated. So you could be here for A, here for B, here for C, and here for D. So there's always that too. Ashtanga can be adapted and changed without losing the integrity of the pose, but also making it comfortable, especially in pregnancy. So I hope that helps, and yeah, enjoy it. It's a really great posture to do more towards the end as well.